There was a smiley face after Fedor got beat Saturday night. Now you've been saying for years that he hasn't fought the best, and you could say his best win the last 4 years is Brett Rogers. You know, I'm with you. I don't know how Yahoo had him number 3 in their rankings pound for pound, and I guess you always said if he comes over to the UFC, he would lose to some of these guys, and he hasn't fought anybody in the last 5 years.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. You know, and the reality is, right after that happened, that's really all I've said about it. I literally haven't talked to any media about it, but all the media wanted to talk to me about it. The media are the guys who have turned this guy into, oh, this guy's this and this guy's that. How is he? Here's the thing. The guys who fight in the UFC are fighting the very best 3 times a year. 3 times a year. This guy hasn't fought anybody since 2005. It's ridiculous. The media created him and hyped him up, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even want me to comment on it? What do you want me to say?
Well, do you still want to go?
What I've been saying for the last,
But at this point, after the loss, do you still want to go after him?
Nope. Now I don't even have to hear about him anymore. I like it.
But what happens now? Because you have upper hand though right now, Dana. Clearly, they have no hand in this matter. So if they come back to you and say, "Okay, you know what? You guys were right. Here's Fedor. Take him," and then you know what? You say, "Okay, well, we have an open fight against Carwin or Lesnar coming up in a few months or whatever the case is."
Here's the problem: the guy loses and he gets in and gets to fight one of these guys.
Well, not necessarily right away.
First of all, I've been saying for years this guy isn't that. You know, he's not great. Everybody's talking about how great this guy is. No, he's not. Then he goes in and loses to Verdum, a guy who we cut from the UFC for losing. You know what I mean? And now he should deserve to be brought into the UFC and fight the best.
Yeah, but then what about his star power? You get him in there against Lesnar. You don't think that's going to blow up?
His star power? Nobody cares. Do you realize this is something that's been created by the mixed martial arts media? Do you know how many people watched his fight the other night? 400,000 people watched it.
Yep.
400,000 people saw that fight. The guy has absolutely no star power, and they sold no tickets to that fight either. They did under $1 million gate and did 400,000 viewers. We put a tape show on that same night. It drew 1.5 million viewers with tape fights.
The Montreal card killed it in the ratings. Yes, it did. I wouldn't be surprised if he does one more fight, his contract's up, and he retires.
Yeah, I hear you. Listen, I've chased this knucklehead all over the world, trying to get him to sign a deal just because everybody else wanted it. You know, oh, he hasn't been beat. He hasn't fought anybody. You know what I mean? Who the hell is Brett Rogers? It's crazy.
Guy was working at Sam's Club in Minnesota. ESPN
true.
Radio 1100, our guest, UFC President Dana White, will be at the MGM Friday. Pick up Lesnar Carwin on pay-per-view Saturday night. What happened with New York?
I don't know, man. I seriously, I thought we were right there. I thought we were going to get it. I thought it was going to happen. And then somebody pulled the rug right out from under us again in New York.
You think it's ever going to happen?
It's got to happen. Like I say this all the time, and it's the truth. We're not going anywhere. We're not getting smaller. We're not going backwards. We're only getting bigger. It's eventually going to happen, you know?
Why'd you sign James Toney?
You know, it's a great question. I ask myself that question a lot, too. This guy was chasing me around all over the country, saying lots of bad things to me and about the sport. And James is a guy coming up. I was a big boxing fan. I respect James Toney as a fighter, and he's a funny guy. And I said I would never put on a freak show. Well, I'm putting on a freak show. He wanted this fight. He's got it. Then we're going to do it. But the thing that I did is, and I admit, I'm putting on a total freak show with this fight. But I built a great card around it. It's not like you're going to buy the pay-per-view and just get the Tony Couture fight. Look, the other thing was Randy Couture wanted this fight really bad, too. Randy Couture said, let me fight James Toney. I want this fight. I did it.
What if Randy loses? Does it make you look bad?
That would suck.
That would suck.
You know what? That's the reality of what makes this thing, kind of interesting, too. James Toney, he's no joke. He's a real fighter, and this guy can punch, and everybody has a puncher's chance. And we actually we're doing the countdown show for that fight now, and the guys that went down there said, you see Tony's short and fat. They said, man, he's got fast hands.
Will you watch Mayweather-Pacquiao if that fight ever happens?
Oh, hell yes. Watch it. I'm going to go to it.
You'll be there?
Who's your money going on?
Pac-Man.
Tell us why.
Stylistically, I think he matches up really well with Floyd. When Pacquiao, first of all, Pacquiao's got the speed too and the power to knock you out. But one of the things that I love about Pacquiao is when Floyd Mayweather has the game where he likes to stay outside and box and counterpunch you, but Pacquiao throws his best shots while he's getting hit. He's one of these guys that while you're punching him, he's throwing big, powerful shots back at you at the same time. It's going to be a fun fight. Mm-hmm. Fight that needs to happen. Two of the best fighters in the world, period, in any weight class. Boxing needs it.
How long ago would you have made this fight already?
You know, I'd love to talk a bunch of smack and tell you, I'd have had this fight made, but look, I've been chasing Fedor around for years. You know,
well,
I couldn't make that
right?
fight, so
yeah.
I can't mouth off about that one.